What's good? Thinks it's about that time. I got a lot of shit to talk about, so I'm about to pull something up, and then I'm gonna start from there. Sorry, I'm not as energetic as usual. I haven't got everything. My head is fucked up right now, okay? And I'm gonna pull it up for y'all right now. Alright, can I get a what's up in the chat? You good, you good, you good, you good. What's up, gang? What's good? Alright, I got a lot of shit to talk about. I ain't even finna start with the formalities. Y'all know who I, well, y'all may know who I am, depending on who the fuck is in the stream. I don't know. How do you do? Okay. Damn, bro. This shit is fucking nuts. This is fucking nuts. Let's start by pulling this shit up, okay? I'm off of my fucking rocker right now. I don't give no fucks. There's a lot of shit. I discombobulated. For starters, before I say anything else, I already know this is gonna make me sound fucking crazy. I'm a fucking TI. Period. Point blank. I don't care if you don't believe that shit. That's what I am. That's what I've been living through, and I'm gonna pull up this and tell you exactly what that shit is before I even say any of my fucking story. Got it? Good. Okay. Now, let me show you motherfuckers what this shit is before you even think that I am just tweaking on whatever I'm saying. I'm gonna show you guys the entire lore, okay? This is the lore. As soon as it fucking pops up, there we go. We got this long ass shit compiled for you people. So let's start. I'm a TI. That means I am aware of all this shit. That means my entire life revolves around this fucking shit. The shit that has just been fucking with my head for the last 5 fucking years. As soon, like, okay, let's start off. Are you being tortured by invisible weapons? Have you ever heard of directed energy weapons? I'm allowed to talk about it now since the government is talking about it. I'm allowed to talk about it without getting banned. Have you ever heard of them? Anybody in the chat heard of them? Nope. Probably not. They probably never heard of anything like this shit. No. I didn't know what the shit was either. I didn't know what the fuck it was until I actually did some more research. Are you suddenly suffering from unexplained eczema, tinnitus, constant shock when you touch metal, a sense of vibration in parts of your body, burning or redness in your skin, voices in your head, directional heat? Despite what you've seen in movies, these rays are invisible and go through walls, and some use the same frequencies as your Wi-Fi router and your microwave oven. Who is behind the attacks? Everything seems to point to the government. We're not gonna get into those. This is what it is. This is what they do. Y'all see this? Y'all can read. Y'all can read. I'm not gonna go into my rants yet. I'm gonna give y'all a second to start reading before I analyze every single thing. I'm crazy. I understand that, but good. You got time to read. You know what I'm saying? Back in the 70s, Eugene, Oregon got blasted with 500,000 watts of pulse radio waves by the U.S. Navy base in Dixon, California. They complained of headaches, fatigue, inability to sleep, reddening of skin, anxiety, clicks in the head, vibration, a buzz, harmonizing with a high-pitched wail. It was found out the base had directional antenna towers setting them up in an array, and this confirms that the military has been able to hurt people at very long ranges. NSA, we already know about the NSA. The NSA has been exposed years ago. Snowden said all of this shit, so we don't have to go deep into NSA, but just know there are more whistleblowers from the NSA as well as the CIA who constantly, right to this day, are getting fired, getting charged, and getting arrested for talking about this very same shit, this technology. If you follow me on social media, you probably are starting to notice some of these symbols that I've been posting pop up. Yes, I'm crazy, don't care. Next part. A lesser known agency, the National Reconnaissance Office, the NRO, controls all the US spy satellites in the sky. Remember this logo. I've talked about this multiple times. Remember this logo. These are the people who control the satellites that on the news just now are complaining about could be the cause for all these wildfires. Let me not say that, but fuck it. In the 1980s, the UK women protesting at the US Air Force Base in Greenham Common, England, claimed they were being attacked by microwaves whenever they entered a certain van. Whenever a certain van came by, they complained of headaches, sharp pains, problem with speech, etc. They complained about direct DW symptoms and V2K symptoms. And I haven't even gotten to V2K yet. I'm sorry. Sporadic, but I have to at least get this out because right now it's a lot of shit I gotta go on to before I even get into my aspect of the shits. I don't care if you watch it, I don't care if you're not watching, I'm just explaining shit, okay? Like I said, this is late night spooks. I'm just talking to you guys about some crazy creepy shit right now. We did the 4chan shit yesterday. Today we on to some more conspiratorial things. Now, back on American soil, during that time, protesters at the Griffith Air Force Base in New York also complained about the same symptoms. Screamin Air Force Base in Colorado controls all the non-spy satellites for the DoD through Space Command, Space Force, which we just actually made that an official thing not too long ago, the U.S. Military Space Force, and even controls the same non-DoD satellites. Now, if there wasn't something weird going on, why the fuck does our U.S. fucking military have all these creepy fucking patches? I'm sorry, but why do we have all of these patches that look like this? These are all patches that you can go and Google yourself and see that these are all fucking companies within the U.S., within our military, within our fucking 3-letter organizations. Why do we have all these creepy ass fucking patches? And I didn't even start explaining every patch yet. Now, you may be thinking, okay, motherfuckers is crazy. I'm talking crazy. What are you talking about? Well, what about the U.S. Army though? Ever heard of the United States Army Intelligence and Security Command, INSCOM? Guess what they specialize in? Counterintelligence, electronic warfare, aka DWs, information warfare. That means what we have been fighting against these last few years. What has been propagating in our news so much, the fight against misinformation. Not going deep into it. Ignoring the U.S. Coast Guard, all that leaves is U.S. Marines, and I can personally attest to that one. All my energy weapon tortures I ran across the country came from vehicles and apartment with U.S. Marine logos, and on them individuals with U.S. Marine clothing. Robert Stanson also says it includes the Navy SEALs. So our entire military industrial complex is a part of it. Like, what is this? What the fuck is this? Okay. While the U.S. military might have their portable energy weapons, which they will not say. If you look up anything about DEWs, they will never tell you that we have portable DEWs. They will always say they're from a satellite or from a plane. They will never say that we have portable DEWs or fucking tower DEWs. China has said it already. China has already told us that they've finally developed it, but they have been making things to counteract DEWs for years. Like, there's an entire fucking there is an entire building in China, like I think it's in Shanghai, one of their tallest buildings. The top of that thing is a giant EMP. Do you know what EMPs do? They block electronic signals. They block energy weapons. They stop it, like a DEWs, from actually affecting them. Like, so you shoot a laser at that shit, like fucking sci-fi as fuck, but you shoot a laser at them, they turn that shit on. It's not gonna affect them because they have a giant fucking shield over their towns, their cities. Like, I don't know if y'all can see this shit. Look at that. Look at that. Look. EMP weaponry for years. We have already been working on EMP weaponry to counter this exact shit. Alright, continue. I'm crazy, I know. Navy Black Project Pat. I've been learning Latin. I've learned Latin for myself because I love Stoicism. I've loved Latin since I was a child. I've always wanted to be like Julius Caesar. I've always wanted to just know Latin. So I can contest when it says, I could tell you, but then I would have to kill you on this fucking shit. Why does our Navy Black Project have that? Okay. To serve and protect our country. Whatever. That's their ideas. De moto no se, no le regard. Don't ask any questions. I'm not even done. Another patch. Melor Diablos Quim Skis. These are the fucking acronyms right there. The devil you know. I have not seen the word God or anything in any of these yet. And the word God in Latin is Deus. D-E-A-S. I can't spell right now. Sorry. I told you I'm flustered. We're not gonna get into the 5G topic because if I get into that, they're gonna shut me off and be like, you're fucking crazy. So come on. What is this? Air Force Airlift Squadron. Don't ask. None of your fucking business. They have an acronym for none of your fucking business on their patches. Continue. If you don't believe it, I don't care. We're going through these fucking conspiracy theories. That's what we're doing right now. This is all jokes. This is all jokes, government. If you decide to watch the stream, this is all jokes. This is all for laws. I'm just acting like the crazy conspiracist for the YouTubes and the Twitch and the internets. I don't actually believe this shit. I don't actually believe this shit. I'm just the messenger. I'm just the one who's telling people about the information. Anyway. Nunquam ante nunquam iterum. Never before, never again. If you need to screenshot it, if you need to read it, if you want PDF, hit me up personally, but you can read the shit yourself. I get you. We're still going with this shit, okay? And if you've been following me on social media for a while, you'll understand why I've been telling you guys to follow the lightning. We shall not die in war. Like, why the fuck? What is this? What is this supposed to symbolize? What the fuck is this supposed to symbolize? This is a patch in our U.S. industrial complex. What the fuck is this supposed to symbolize? Protecting the country? This means protect the country, right here. Nothing is beyond our reach. This is for protection, right? Okay, just saying. After I skipped the 5G, when we already talked about satellites, now this is where things get really interesting. This is also the reason I mentioned Screamin Air Force Base and showed you all the NROL patches in the first place. What I'm going to talk to you about is going to blow your mind. Satellite surveillance. At this point, most of us know that there are fucking millions of satellites surrounding our planets. We have an entire layer of satellites around our planet, an entire layer of satellites around our planet. We have polluted our atmosphere more than anything else in the fucking cosmos. Our asteroid belt isn't even as thick as the amount of satellites that we have around our planet. And this is a picture of all satellites, not just US, just all satellites from our world. And we still send satellites out about, I believe, at a rate about like two per week, maybe more. Like, we send out satellites all the time. Promores gravis es accasus, the devil you know. I don't understand why the devil is even being symbolized in anything that has to do with protecting us. In 2001, John Fleming made some hard-to-believe statements in the article, The Shocking Menace of Satellite Surveillance. I'll pull that up right now. And they took it down, so it's only on Google Groups now? Oh, wow. That's crazy. Make sure you guys look up your shit so you know that this is all open source information. You can find this shit yourself. I'm just the messenger right now. I'm just explaining to you what this shit is before I actually get deep into it, and I don't care if you're watching or not. I have to explain it to you, okay, guys? If you don't believe it, don't believe it, but this is all open source. Everything in these articles that he's talking about, they keep popping up to be true. This came out in 2001, talking about DWs, all of this shit, and now it's 2023, and we're just now talking within the media that we have fucking satellites that can shoot lasers down on people and start fires, nigga? Huh? What the fuck? Okay, there's a reason for everything, and everything is calculated, which is why I'm gonna get into it later. I have to finish this. Global engagement, military space plane technology program. Again, what's with the creepy ass patches? What is this? You put a B-2 fighter on a patch for us? The military space plane technology program, Kirkland Air Force Base. A 2008 book called I Could Tell You, But Then You Would Have to Be Destroyed by Me, Emblems from the Pentagon's Black World, studied the gather war memorabilia, including patches. The author said lightning bolts often represent electronic warfare, aka DEWs. Follow the lightning. Just follow the lightning, guys. Follow it. But let me continue. Probably the least shocking statement he makes is the ability of satellites to hear your private conversations anywhere in the world, as these aren't spy satellites at all. But what is shocking is that there's no way to avoid it. Walls, ceilings, floors are no barrier to monitoring a conversation from space. Even if you were in a high-rise building with 10 stories above you, 10 stories below, a satellite's audio surveillance could monitor your speech and still be unhampered. This works because a laser is used to interact with certain items in your place that vibrate to sound waves, like a glass window or cup, while completely passing through other objects. It's the same principle as a laser microphone, which is stuff that we already know about. We've already talked about this. These lasers can penetrate almost anything. John claims with only sheets of lead above you can you hope to have even the semblance of a private conversation, which nowadays is harder because we've advanced in our technology a lot, and it's getting harder to even figure out what to do. Okay. 111th Flight Test Squadron, accessing the future. Edwards Air Force Base. Special Projects Flight Test Squadron. I can't speak English. Special Projects Flight Test Squadron. Again, what the fuck? Lightning bolts and wizards. Why the fuck do we have lightning bolts, wizards, dragons, fucking spaceships, giant hydras, and fucking octopuses controlling the world as our patches? Anyway, a spy satellite can monitor a portion of every movement, blah, blah, blah. Even if you're traveling down a car, they can monitor you everywhere. We already got that down. They can monitor you everywhere. Next patch, Procul est Profandi Special Projects. That is 116th Flight Test Squadron in Edwards Air Force Base. Remember Edwards Air Force Base because they have done a lot of shady shit. If you even look them up, there is a lot of controversy within that Air Force Base itself. But what those words mean are keep your distance. You are uninitiated. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What the... Like, why? These, and this isn't fucking, I'm not making this shit out of my ass. I'm not pulling this shit out of thin air, nigga. This is shit you can fucking Google. Like, what the fuck? This is shit you can literally Google. Why the fuck do we have all these creepy ass shits talking about fucking wizards and lightning bolts, alien, and fucking spaceship and dragons? Why do we have that as our military patches, bro? We used to be the bald eagle, representative of freedom, the fucking snake, don't tread on me. Where did this come from? Because they want control. Let's continue. A 2021 new kind of satellite, the Capella 2, can see into building through several floors with the highest resolution commercial to SAR, synthetic aperture radar. It basically just makes a radar that is 3D, simply put. We've already had similar technology since the 70s, which they're explaining here, and it's also using radio waves, which we've already explained that is what they are. And MIT has shown that radio waves can be used so that human beings are reflectors of such light, but not solid walls. Basically, they can shoot radio waves from anywhere and determine your positioning from those radio waves. So say they shoot a laser through a fucking wall, or I'm gonna just say DW, because if you say laser, you sound fucking crazy. They shoot the DW through a fucking wall. They will have the density of the wall, the density of your body, like it will reflect those energy waves differently, so they can basically map out your body. And if you actually Google this, we've learned how to do this with Wi-Fi signals. Like, look at this. But this is shit they talked about this earlier this year. I don't know if y'all heard about this. I said something about it. Like, we've already had this shit for years, but these are when normal people like us can actually do it, is when it will become public. You know what I'm saying? This is a college, so since the college was able to fucking do it, they were able to fucking post this out. We've already learned about this shit. It is the same concept, just different applications. EW Directorate. What the fuck? Wait, look at this. Look at this shit. If this isn't blatant, bro, this isn't fucking blatant, like electronic warfare directorate, Edwards Air Force Base. Again, look up Edwards Air Force Base and you will find a whole slew of shit. Again, I just explained this. Joint Space Operations Centers at the United Space Vault. Again, why the fuck do we have these wizards with lightning bolts? There's, like, if you don't realize, like, America has always been using symbolism within all of our patches, our flags. We've always used symbolism. That's just part of our culture as a country. We have always done that. Since the dawn of our country, we have used symbolism to describe certain aspects of why our country is different, why our country is unique. That's what actually made America America at some point. I'm not saying that since we use symbols, that's what America is, but we have done that since the birth, since the revolution. We have done that. We've put symbols within our entire country. You've ingrained it into the system. I'm not just saying this to be like, oh my God, this is a crazy thing, but again, I reiterate, don't tread on me. The bald eagle, like, why do we have all of these unified symbols that everybody knows about? But then when you say, oh, they use symbolism in other aspects too, people are just like, no, they don't do that. No, what are you talking about? You're fucking crazy. You're fucking dumb. You're fucking crazy. Okay, I sound crazy. I don't care, but you're not even hearing me out. Like, I don't care if you believe me, but you can at least research it yourself, which none of you will do. Like, I understand that. None of you are gonna research this shit. This stream is going to be posted, all of this shit, and none of you will fucking research any of this shit. And then about a year later, when I'm probably either I'm gonna be dead or something, I don't know, which I'll get into later, and all this other shit happens, y'all are gonna realize, oh, he was crazy when he was saying it, but he wasn't he wasn't just out of it. Like, he had a point, he had a basis. I'm not making this shit up out of my ass. I'm not bringing this shit just cause I'm fucking a cuckoo. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I've been diving into this shit for a long time. It's been in my head. I've had to fucking make sure I can at least give you guys a place where you can at least look at this shit, cause I know you guys won't. That's the point. That was their entire point. Misinformation. They don't want you to believe this shit. They discredit every theory. They make sure every person and every theory that comes out about them has some air of fucking insanity to it, so then it is less credible and more likely to be denied by the common person, and that is just facts. Now, the Joint Space Operations Center is a weapon command and control center located at Beamin Air Force Base, which is pretty close to Edwards Air Force Base. Van Buren itself is part of the military space and missile testing and puts satellites into orbit. I'm just saying, their logo, all of this in their logo having lightning bolts would suggest the JSPOC is controlling satellites with DEWs on them. I'm just saying. In the article again, this article, John talks about the neurophone, or what we now call, which you've probably heard me say it if you've been on my page or anything, B2K, voice to skull. As it implies, it puts voices directly into your head, and I can contest it does, but to an extent. It is not a schizophrenia simulator, but they do put voices in your head. It is suggestibility, as well as B2K is more than just fucking lasers getting sent to you. It is an algorithmic thing. If you use any cell phone or technology right now, and have you ever noticed that when you say certain things, after a while, like, oh, I need a new pair of socks or something. After a while, you'll see advertisements for socks, or you'll see advertisements for the last video you were talking about. That is part of it. They are constantly reading. If you Google right now, and if you get an infrared camera and just hold up an infrared camera at your iPhone, you will see every 5 seconds, it is constantly taking an infrared photo of you. Every 5 seconds. Why? Because it is constantly monitoring you. They're trying to make sure that they know everything about you. It is gathering data collectively. All of these devices that we use on a daily are gathering data on us to fuel both advertisers and this fucking V2K machine. It is not just one person. It is not just one entity. It is not just one governmental entity. It is a algorithm. It is an AI. It is collecting data on us and these different higher powers, whether it be companies, whether it be governments, whatever. They gather that data and use that data against you, whether it be for good, for bad, for advertising purposes, to get dirt on you, whatever they want to use it for, that is what they use it for. Now, continuing. The National Reconnaissance Operations Center. Oh, crazy. A wizard with lightning bolts. Shocking lightning bolts over the entire planet. That definitely looks like love and safety for America. Like, what the fuck is this shit? This is the command center for the NRO and services as backup for the JSPOC in Van Buren. This strongly suggests that their satellites, JSPOCs, at the very least have DEWs on them. When you combine all this with personal accounts of being tortured by something above on a clear day with no aircraft in the sky, it is hard to believe they aren't involved with the torture of U.S. citizens. According to BreakingDefense.com, which is right here, I will pull it up right now, Breaking Defense, right there. That's the site. I'm just pulling up the sites. I'm giving you guys the shits. According to BreakingDefense.com and per an inside source, because of a 2018 DoD policy change on the satellite transparency, NRO personnel and others hiding in unmarked cubicles in other parts of Northern Virginia started breathing into bags like never before. If you get what that means, props to you. Again, I will go over more. I will get more in depth later, but right now this is the overview before I get into my story. It can't be worse than that, right? Wrong. Another amazing claim by John with the satellite surveillance is mind reading. While we don't have any direct evidence, yes, we do support the evidence. Now, before we get into the mind reading thing, I don't believe they can read your mind. I do believe that they can track your brain waves and kind of recreate your thoughts and your memories, which has been proven now. Hold on, they recreated that Pink Floyd song using a motherfucker's brain waves. They reconstructed an entire Pink Floyd song using someone's brain waves. That is my interpretation of this, because the people who started this organization, there's a chance that they are a part of this big thing. And since all of this information is slowly coming out, they are basically trying to add more misinformation, which is why, like, we have been having the last few years have been an entire fight against misinformation. We have been doing all of this shit to stop people talking bad about COVID and conspiracy theories. Okay, all of that shit. We have to just say fuck the First Amendment now and just say none of that shit is true. We tell you what is true now. That is why we are going through all of this shit. And again, there is a lot of misinformation, but a lot of that has started purposefully, and now people have ran with it because they know there's a herd mentality, as well as mass hysteria is something that is just prevalent within human nature. So like, you tell a certain amount of people something, they're gonna believe it. This is why all of these fucking super out there fucking theories are actually like fully backed with huge fucking funding from different sources of people, because they want you to see all these crazy ass fucking people and look at the real shit and be like, nah, that's gotta be in that same archetype, that's gotta be in that same subsect, which is just idiotic at best. Like, that's how it is. That's honestly how it is. I'm gonna go into the patch real quick, but I have to tell you guys about this part especially. There's a patent in the U.S. patent system where brain activity monitoring, blah blah blah. Basically, I have the links, but they're on my phone right now. I will pull up some of the links of the patent for V2K. Hold on. That's the patent for the identification of V2K. I'll pull up the patent in a bit. Again, misinformation shit. I hate having to sift through shit just to go to the right shit. Because look at that. They always say some shit like, oh, you could. People will say some shit like, oh, you can't find this. I'm like, bro. First of all, this is a list of all. First of all, this is a list of patents right here. But this list specifically, they made sure to put this fucking list specifically, but not the actual patents on the homepage. So then you can find the list and be like, oh, people are saying this, and this, but this isn't viable. This doesn't show any type of information. This is just a list of people saying it. Like a list of people who have signed in patents and got patents registered to show that their technology actually works. We just haven't found the actual documents. Like, no. Again, I'm the crazy person. I am just a messenger. This is all jokes in Minecraft. You already know. But I got to talk about my shit. Multi-role reconnaissance operation, ACC. That means Air Combat Command and Air Space Command and Control Agency. This patch is from 1992, with a U.S. military agency that no longer exists. This would suggest that the use of these surveillance techniques and energy weapons have been going on for a long time. That means we've had DWs for a minute. We've had them, whether they're not in the form that we know of them now, but we've had the technology for DWs for a long time. I left it up here. You guys can read. They're starting to talk about Snowden. Well, let me talk about this next patch. Alone in the Frame. Now, I may just be crazy, but just look at that symbol and tell me what you get from it. Like if you can in the comments, you know. Shameless plug. Yes, I'm still trying to be a content creator at the same time as me talking about whatever's messing up my brainwaves. Now let's go. This is a drone patch that has little known about it, but Lightning Bolts would suggest that it is armed with DWs. Bill Binney, a former NSA higher-up and a whistleblower with more than 30 years experience, said he was attacked by a drone with energy weapons. He said he knew this because of the figure-8 pattern and the radiation created. He stated this is common for drones and satellites that are trying to stay stationary over a target while aiming radiation below at it. Now go look at Maui. I'm just saying, if you... There's a lot of shit. Strategic Defense Initiative, Department of Defense, Strategic Defense Initiative. This was Ronald Reagan's Star Wars program. The experimental weapons for these satellites included X-ray lasers, chemical lasers, neuroparticle beams, and space-based relay mirrors to reflect and aim energy weapons. Remember, this was all in the 1980s. Reagan made a Star Wars initiative, a program for weapons in space in the 80s, but 2023 is when we created DEWs in 2023, even though people have been talking about it since the 80s. I love green tea. Anyway, and now same question the same thing I've had. Now, with all these evil looking badges, do you think nothing sinister is really going on here? Do you think they're really the good guys? All of these look at these fucking badges. Look at these badges, and you're gonna tell me all of these they're protecting and serving the people of America. All of these are for protecting and serving the people of the world. I don't know. Why do we have what is the symbolism of a Hydra? To protecting. No, bro. This literally shows a flaming raven on fire in front of a burning American flag. What? What the fuck? Like, I'm sorry. I don't care if I get the good old demonetization. I don't care, but listen. What the fuck? But can lasers from these satellites reach Earth with enough power to do harm? Absolutely. Look at Maui. Look at the Earth right now. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let's go to the wildfire map. Our country is on fire, bro. Our country is on fire, bro. We've already been attacked multiple times. Look at this. Canada's getting fucked up. Alaska. Why is Alaska getting fucked up? Why are there so many wildfires going on? And what's crazy, if you actually look at it, where's the primary area for all these wildfires? The North Americas. I wonder why. What's also very crazy is the fact that a lot of our towns and a lot of our cities that are actually getting on fire right now from wildfires our towns and cities that were scouted location for Silicon Valley, as well as for smart cities. You know what a smart city is? A smart city is a municipality that uses information and communication technologies to increase operational efficiency, share information with the public, and improve both quality of government services and citizens' welfare. Which means we're like all of our e-cities, basically cities that are just all connected. You know what I'm saying? We Wi-Fi cities, if you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Cities that where if you live there, like it'll be easier to get housing, easier to find jobs, easier to find transportation. Everything will be connected. You'll be able to like sustain yourself and be pretty okay. But I'm just saying, you guys know what smart cities is. If you want the sources, go ahead and type these links in, because there's a lot more. There's a lot more sources that I have not pulled up. I've only pulled up just the basic information. This is all open source. I keep telling you guys, this is all open source. All right, what's good? So I'm not able to post the entire part of this long stream that I did. It's gonna take a lot of editing, but I should have the rest up at least later this week. But I will post some more like content in between. I'm trying to get as much as I can out by the end of the week before I like shift into a whole new realm of things and try to fix my brain. Hopefully I'll be okay. Fucking AC decides to turn on as soon as I start recording. It's crazy. But I'm gonna there's a lot more deep dives we're gonna be going into over our journey, and hopefully I'll be able to continue it. But more likely than not, I'm gonna get shut down soon. So I'm gonna get out what I can. You guys, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I feel blessed that even if just 2 people see this video and it doesn't get immediately destroyed off the face of the internet, I will be happy. So thank you for watching. If you do enjoy, please like, subscribe, all that jazz, whatever blah blah blahs. Remember, follow the lightning. The God is dead God here, LG the God. You know, look me up on SoundCloud, look me up on everything. You know, I'm just everywhere. Just remember to follow the lightning, and we're gonna keep looking into weird, crazy things. All right. So hope you guys enjoy. Adios. You'll die in your place, try to walk all over me. I am not a doormat. Trying to talk down on me, I'ma just ignore that. Hopping in the whip quick, I'm turning ignition, swerving right past him. I'ma have to ditch him. Send him to the ICU, this blade gon' dissect him. I'm a big baller, young David Beckham. You're dead in my eyes once you try to play. No, there ain't no saving, you'll die in your place. Try to walk